For this course, website design and development. This is module 3 for the course website development and design and development. Sorry. And in this module, we'll be looking at the topic. The topic that we'll be discussing in this module is website building tools and technologies. This module is what we can say to be the module that we'll be discussing the major tools and technologies that is necessary that we need to build websites. We can also call it the module from no code builders to becoming a professional frameworks. So now this is the third video for this course. Now let's move on to the contents, the module contents. So in this module, what are the subtopics? What will learners be learning in this module? And one of them is website builders. So in this module, learners will study website builders, where we have instances like the WordPress, Wix, Shopify, and Webflow, and the like. Also, learners will also study front-end technologies like the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and the likes. And also, learners will also study back-end technologies, the PHP, Python, Node.js, and so on. Learners will also study design tools like Figma, Adobe XD, Canva, and all. And lastly, in this module, learners will study the version control and collaboration, that is the Git and GitHub. So these are the main topics or subtopics that we'll be addressing or that we'll be discussing in this module 3. So let's move on to the introduction to this module. In this module, theory becomes practice. It becomes practical. It is no longer in the head again. It becomes something that we carry out. So the tools and technologies, they bring websites to life. These tools that we are going to be discussing in this module, they are known to bring websites to life. It has gone beyond imaginary thing again. It has moved beyond theory now. It has to do with practice. Now module 3, this module is shift from design principles to hands-on tools used by professionals worldwide. If we can recollect in our previous module, we only be talking about the theory, the different principle, the different design, why we should do this, why we should do that. But this module, we are shifting from just the design principles to tools that we can use, that are used by professionals worldwide or globally. So now understanding these tools, these two landscape, it will help you to choose the right solution for each project. Simple business website versus complex web application. Now this module will also cover 5 major categories, which is website builders, front-end languages, back-end technologies, design tools, and version control. Additionally, or lastly, this module will introduce us to a web developers toolkit spans from no-code platform to powerful program frameworks and the like. So now let's move on to the main contents for this module, which is website builder, an overview to website builder. We have software platforms. A website builder, they are like software platforms that let you create websites without writing code from scratch. So their key features include the following. We have drag and drop interfaces. We have the pre-designed templates. We also have the integrated hosting and domain management. So the benefits of this one we have is demonstrate web presence at low cost. Minimal technical expertise is required also. So another benefit is that it is ideal for small businesses, small entrepreneurs, artists, and community organizations. And when we are talking about these 4 leading platforms include WordPress, Wix, Shopify, Webflows, and all. So still on website builders, now we're looking at WordPress and Wix. We mentioned that 4 leading platforms. We have WordPress, Wix, Shopify, and Webflow. Let's take it one after the other. Now we'll be looking at WordPress and Wix. So now WordPress, apparently it powers 43% of all websites, close to half of all websites, and it has 2 forms. We have WordPress.com and WordPress.org. WordPress.com is known as the hosted, and while the WordPress.org is known as the self-hosted, and it is more powerful. It also has unlimited customization via themes and 60,000 plus plugins. Like we have the WooCommerce for e-commerce. It is best for blogs, for news sites, portfolios, small medium business sites, e-commerce, and it mainly requires attention to security updates and performance optimization. Now let's look at Wix. What we have just concluded is what we have just discussed is on WordPress. Now Wix, it is cloud-based, highly intuitive drag and drop editor. Wix has 800 plus designer templates plus AI-powered website creation. So it automatically handles hosting, security, performance, and it is best for beginners, small businesses, portfolios. And the limitation include it is less flexible than WordPress. It is less flexible than WordPress, and it cannot migrate sites to another platform. It can migrate sites to another platforms. Now, still on website builders. Now, let's look at Shopify and Webflow. We are trying to distinguish between these builders differently. Shopify, which is known to be the leading dedicated e-commerce platform, which has over 4.6 million online stores in 175 plus countries. The end-to-end solution will include product catalog, inventory tracking, payment processing, shipping, marketing. The app marketplace has 8,000 plus extension, and it is best for businesses whose primary goal is selling products online. Now let's look at Webflow now. It involves visual no-code design experience with output of clean HTML, CSS, JS code, and it also offers typographic and layout control of hard-coded sites without manual coding. It also includes built-in CMS and enterprise grade hosting. So it's actually best for professional designers, design agencies, then Pixel Perfect Design also. Now let's move on to the next subtopic, which is the front end technology, where we have HTML, which means hypertext markup language. This is the skeleton of every web page, and it is known for standard markup language for structuring content. It actually uses tags enclosed in angle bracket. For instance, just like we have it here, we have e.g. H1, P, and O. So key HTML elements involve the heading, the paragraphs, hyperlinks, images, list, forms, and so on and so forth. So now semantic HTML 5 elements. It usually has the header, the nav, the main, the section, the article, and the footer. Now, for semantic elements improve SEO and accessibility, which is can be seen as screen readers. Now, let's look at still on front-end technologies. This time for CSS. The previous one was HTML. Sorry, CSS means cascading style sheet. It is the screen and visual presentation. So it is the screen and visual presentation. It controls color, font, layout, spacing, animations, and responsive behavior. It actually separates presentation from structure. One HTML file can have multiple style sheets for different devices. And key CSS3 capabilities, we have the Flexbox, we have the CSS grid, custom properties, we have the animations and transitions, media queries. In all, CSS makes website beautiful and adaptable to any screen size. So now on JavaScript front-end, still on front-end technologies, but JavaScript this time. JavaScript is the modules that make websites interactive and dynamic. It is the only programming language natively understood by web browsers. It transforms static HTML, CSS documents into dynamic web application. So what JavaScript does in the browser mainly, we have the DOM manipulation, that is add, remove, modify elements dynamically. It also invents handling. That's one of the what JavaScript does. Events handling, respond to clicks, scrolls, key presses, form submissions, and all. And we have Ajax Fetch API, which load data from servers without page reload. Browser storage, and popular frameworks or libraries. We have React by Meta, and it is most widely used and components based. We have Vue.js, we have Angular by Google, and so on and so forth. Back-end technologies now, the PHP. Backend refers to the server side logic, the databases and business operations. Uh, Server-side scripting language is designed specifically for web development, and it powers 77% of websites with known server-side language, including WordPress and Wikipedia. It also runs on the server, queries databases, usually MySQL, which generates and also generates HTML responses. The strengths for this the strengths include the following: deep deep MySQL integration, massive community and documentation. It is supported by virtually every web hosting provider. Laravel framework provides modern syntax, authenticating routing, ORM. So PHP now is highly practical for WordPress development and shared hosting environments, and it is very common in Nigeria. Now, still on backend technology, you have Python and Node.js. Python with the Django or Flask. It is clean, readable syntax, general purpose language. The Django's batteries included framework with authentication, database ORM, admin interface, security protections, and it is used by Instagram, Pinterest, Mozilla, and Flask. On the other hand, Flask is lightweight micro framework for small apps, REST APIs, and learning fundamentals. Python strengths in AI/ML, and it makes it ideal for data-driven apps. Now let's move on to Node.js. Now is JavaScript. Node.js is runtime that allows JS, that is JavaScript, to run on the server using Google's V8 engine. It is event driven, non-blocking, and excellent for real-time applications, high concurrency, chat apps streaming. Express JavaScript is most widely used by Node.js framework for web servers and REST APIs. Now let's look at design tools, where we have Figma, Adobe XD, and Canva. This is actually specialized software for planning, prototyping, and collaborating on website design. Figma, it is industry dominant. It is browser-based, real-time collaboration. That is, we have multiple designers, they work simultaneously, and it is component-based design systems, auto layouts, interactive prototyping. So sorry, and dev mode. So it is used by Google, Microsoft, Airbnb, Twitter, or X, and it's generous free trial. And now Adobe XD, it is part of Adobe Creative Cloud, which has good integration with Photoshop, Illustrator, clean interface, robust prototyping. But Adobe has discontinued new feature development as of 2024, directing users to Figma. Now let's look at Canva. Canva is a drag and drop graphic design for non-designers. So vast library for templates, social media presentation, basic website mockups, and all. It is not professional grade for UI or UX, but excellent for quick visuals and content managers. Figma is now known to be the standard for professional web design collaboration. Now the version control and collaboration, that is the Git and GitHub. Now why do we now let's look at why version control is necessary. Because one, it prevents overwriting work in teams. It also tracks every change, that is who made it, when, and why. It also allows reverting to last stable version when a bug appears. Git, it tracks changes, creates complete history via commits. Branches, it is independent lines of development, and it integrates changes from one branch into another. So it also removes hosting for Git repositories, pull requests for code review, issues for project management, actions for automation, that is the CI or CD. GitHub pages, it is free static hosting from repositories. Now proficiency with Git and GitHub is a baseline expectation for professional web developers, and it is expected to list on your CV. Now in conclusion, we have been able to look at the category key tools or technologies that are primarily used. We will also look at website builders, where we have WordPress with Shopify, Webflow, no code, or local sites for businesses, portfolio, and e-commerces. We also look at our front-end HTML, CSS, JavaScript structure, style, and interactivity in the browser. We will also look at the backend PHP, the Python, the Django or Flask, Node.js server logic, databases, APIs, real-time features. And also we've also looked at design tools, Figma, Adobe XD, Canva, wireframing, prototyping, visual design, collaboration. And we have also looked at version control, GitHub, code tracking, team collaboration, deployment. So understanding these landscapes will help you to choose the right tool for each project and speak the language of professional web development. We have been able to distinguish between these tools, to differentiate between these tools and their functions and what they can do. So it is so this module is there to actually help us to make us to choose the right tool for each project.